Hello and welcome, race fans, to Championship Night here on a wonderful Wednesday, completing the season of Vigilante Racing League here this season in the Xfinity cars. And boy, oh boy, is it always fun when these championship races are held at plate tracks, as these drivers turn 94 laps for a total of 250 miles here tonight, and it should be one heck of a show. But first, let's get things started off with the National Anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, all season long, these races were only made possible by some great sponsors like D&D Race Grafix. That's Grafix spelled Grafix. Go ahead and look them up on Facebook and on Trading Paints, as Ricky Wittenberg, man, he does absolutely, positively some of the best eye-catching paints out there. You'll be sure to get some good comments in those official races, so be sure to look them up and give them some love, as well as his real-life business of Keller Williams of Johnson City, Tennessee. You can give Ricky a call there at 423-444-0454, whether you're looking to buy or sell your house in that Johnson City, Tennessee area, or across the country. He has a list of contacts he can put you together with. If you're trying to look for something, say, down in Florida, if you want to live near a cruise terminal and, you know, have a nice short little drive there, don't have to fly out there, be sure to give him a call, and he'll be able to hook you on up, because this housing market is absolutely insane. Don't do it alone. Get yourself a good quality realtor. As always, I am Alan Brown, and I am joined by my good friend, Mr. Alan English. Alan, it's championship night here at Talladega. I know mathematically we'll get into it, but it's pretty much over. But nonetheless, we're still in for a pretty good show here tonight.
Well, pretty much everybody's coming into this race knowing that it's, you know, the championship's a lock. The team championship's been a lock. But it's one more opportunity for these guys to get together and race to end the season here. They'll take a week or two off before the new season starts. But, yeah, what a way to finish it. We always have fun calling races here at Talladega, and get a decent car count tonight. It's going to be action-packed. I'm looking forward to it.
That it is, and as you can see, Adam Turner not here with us, as he's still down there doing his dove hunting, but we are having an all-Alan broadcast here tonight, as we're joined by Mr. Alan Kewins. Alan, thanks for jumping in here to kind of take over and help out when I was gone here last week, and you're getting to see some great racing action here 2 weeks in a row.
Oh yeah, it's always a pleasure to join you guys up here. I'm ready for some exciting racing here at Talladega tonight. This should be a fun one.
That it should, as we go ahead and take a look at tonight's race info. A nice sunshiny day here in Alabama, as these guys have to make their way around this 2 2/3 mile track. but no issues there. These guys will be able to absolutely fly, bringing us down to that key to the race, man, and it's just grip and rip. Final race, really not too much up for grabs here, just maybe some bragging points as these guys get ready to head on into qualifying here.
Sorry about that. I'm coughing. I forgot to hit the mute button. Yeah, it's time to leave it out there leave it all out there on the table, and one last shot at, bragging rights, getting a win. Who knows, man? We've seen so many crazy things happen at these plate tracks, and the pack racing's just, anybody can win one of these things in reality. So hopefully, hopefully we'll see something kind of different tonight. Who knows?
That is so, as we take a look at what the current championship standings are. Jas Vaught having the season he's been waiting for, man, with an average finish of 3rd up until this point, man. There's no wonder why he started to run away with this one. But in regards to the team championship, you can tell who won just by looking at that top 4. You got Mike Adamson, Jeremiah Burke, and Tim Pope, all for Limitless Motorsports, all up there in that top 2, 3, and 4 spot. And so Team Limitless is going to be your team champion this season.
Yeah, those guys got a great team over there. They work very, very well together. Rarely do they go anywhere and not have a plan, so good on them. I mean, that was well earned.
Yeah, and working with your teammates tonight, that could be a key to win this race, and they obviously worked very well together.
That is 100% true, as these drivers start to make their way out on track to put in some qualifying times. Got Mike Everidge driving around out there right now. As always, we got some people with the face cams. We are missing one driver. Hopefully he makes it in, but I think it's going to be a little too close to call on that one. But we've got Mr. Chandler Paul, driving that 72 machine. Man, that thing is looking bright and shiny. That one was done by Ricky Wittenberg for the Cult of Chaos out there. He's looking to try to get a good result here in the final race. Let's see here. We also have... trying to see if he's out there on track. Mr. Earl Evans, not out there on track just yet. However, he's still got his face cam up as well. Jeremiah Burke, one of those guys we were just talking about, having a great season up there within that top 5 championship standings, as Greg Klein goes out there and sets the fastest lap as of right now. First one to complete both laps. Then he just got jumped by Mike Everidge by a good chunk of margin. And then there's Dave Hot Rod Mayberry jumping up to the top of that leaderboard.
Yeah, you'll see
those Red Bull cars up there at the top.
We're joined by Edith Anderson, joining us early during the qualifying session. Watching anxiously, she says. You know that she'll be pulling for Albert Anderson in the 2 machine. He has not yet put in a qualifying time as of yet, but it won't be long.
As the 8 of Poke Salad Tony Poke, trying to put down some good laps here, just outside of that starting top 10 right now. But he's still, that was his final lap, I think, or he's actually doing his final lap now, as he tries to improve upon that. Andrew Cawthon out there, as well as the 11 of Chad McCabe out there running very strong here tonight as well.
The 8 of Jack the Ripper Dixon out there getting ready to put some times down.
Hey, hopefully he avoids all those bumpers and fenders and whatnot. No, he had to do some evasive maneuvers one of his last times. He was out there real life racing, and thankfully no damage was done there, but you got to be careful of those bits and pieces.
Yeah, Earl Evans joined us over there on the YouTube channel. He's in tonight's race in the number 13 machine. He said, "What's up, sponsors? good luck to you. Our sponsored, not sponsored car said he's been bad, so he has to start in the pits. Oh, well, those carryover penalties. Yeah, there's going to be a couple of those, I believe.
As we do have the league sponsor there, 55, Ricky Wittenberg, with a great time up there inside that top 5.
Shell Baboon joining us on YouTube as well, saying Anderson Fan Club, ready to watch this exciting race.
And
So much for joining us, Shelba.
as the 33 of Jazz Vaught, your season champion. It's kind of turning like a F1 where the final race doesn't matter. But hey, you know what? Knowing him, he's going to go out there, try to pick up that win to really just cement this season that he's had. I mean, we kind of joked with him a bunch this season. I see he's had a lot of like second and third place finishes, but I mean, he got the wins when he needed to get them, and not only that, but the races that he really struggled during, like with technical issues or just kind of fell out due to cautions and whatnot, he fought back and kept that car going.
Yeah, every point matters. Even if you're 30 laps down, if you could get back out there and make a couple spots up, I mean, those really add up at the end of the year if you can struggle through them races.
So tonight we got a 21x incident limit count. Any higher than that, they'll be disqualified. 2 fast repairs tonight. 60% fuel. They have unlimited sets of tires in this race. Even though, you know, tires aren't going to be a really big deal here. I think you're going to see a whole lot of fuel-only stops tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right. Definitely at these plate tracks, we don't typically see tires coming too much into play. However, you do have to be cautious, especially these Xfinity cars. Those rear end tires, once they start to get worn down a little bit, they can get squirrely, especially in the draft. So that's going to be something to kind of watch out for. Probably, you know, around halfway, maybe take tires then, as Jess Vaught goes up and sits on pole position now.
One thing I like to do when I'm racing here is I like to take either right sides or left sides and alternate between the two during the race. So at least swapping them out and getting fresh sides each time if you're sitting there for the whole fuel load.
See, this is why we like you, Alan, because Turner wouldn't know that. He'd just be like, just come on in. He doesn't think about it too much. Well, Albert Anderson now out there on track to put in some qualifying laps. Out there, here he goes. This is going to be his first official lap, heading through turns 1 and 2, and now down that back straightaway, where these guys, when they hit the kind of get all grouped up and in the draft, we're going to see top speeds of close to 200 miles an hour, as that draft really helps these guys pick up that much extra speed. As there goes the 2 machine through turns 3 and 4, and of course, we love Talladega here because that start-finish line is not kind of in that center of the tri-oval area. It's just after it, and that extra couple hundred feet, it makes up some good chunk of distance.
Yeah, we've seen so many crazy finishes at Talladega. You know, starting in turn 4 there, and then into the tri-oval, out of the tri-oval, and even wrecking across the finish line we've seen here lately.
Yeah, you're never really out of it when you come into the tri over there. That's usually where it all breaks loose sometimes. Well,
All you guys out there in YouTube land, we've got to pick one more fan of the race for the season. Then they'll have a drawing out of all of those names to see who wins. I think they got a gift card or something for them.
Yeah, I believe so.
Are they going to do that after the broadcast is over with?
No. We'll
okay. We're going to do it.
Yeah, like always, we will do our random driver draw. You'll announce the winner for being added to the list. If you would be so kind to do so now, Mr. English, just add numbers to each of those names, 1 through however many we've got.
Covered. It'll be 1 through 15.
1 through 15, and well, we'll do a kind of secondary random draw, and that's how we'll pick that kind of fan of the season here as this season comes to a close. Just like this qualifying session, coming into the final 30 seconds here. I don't think anybody else is going to jump on out there, and Albert Anderson sitting up there on pole position.
Wow, he kind of snagged that away from Vaught right there at the end. Good job, Albert. He must have been watching track temps or something.
Man, but you know what? I'm looking at the times of 53.95, 53.95. So you're going to thousandths of a second. But not only that, but for third, it was 53.98, 53.98, 53.98. But so, I mean, we're talking inside of 3/100ths of a second separating the top 5 here.
Yep. A couple of these drivers, within a few thousandths of each other. So 2 or 3 thousandths in some cases.
Yeah, indeed, as these drivers start to grid on up here for the final time this season, let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver is starting here tonight. Albert Anderson up there on pole position for that Limitless Motorsports team. He's going to have the 33 Vigilante Force driver of Jess Vaught sitting on his outside. You got the 728 of Timothy Pope starting there in third behind his teammate, with the 29 of Hot Rod Mayberry right there in fourth, sitting behind his teammate. So we got teammates already stacking on up. The 01 of Kelly Keel is going to start here in fifth, with the 48 of Jack the Ripper Dixon starting in sixth. 55 Ricky Wittenberg's got a pretty good starting point here tonight, starting in seventh, with the 37 of Dustin Reilly coming back out here to show his might on these plate tracks, starting in eighth. In ninth, we're going to have the 13 of Earl Evans, with the 753 of Jeremiah Burke rounding out tonight's starting top 10.
51 of Mike Adamson will be starting in 11th. Outside row number 6 is going to be Chan the Man, Chandler Paul in the 72. The 82 of Mike Everidge is going to be 13th. 14th will be the 3 of Austin Paul. Row number 8 is going to be the 10 of Andrew Cawthon and the 76 of Jeff Ottinger. Row number 9 is going to be the 92 of Greg Klein and the 4 of Deion Jones. Row number 10, and rounding out your top 20, the 11 of Chad McCabe and the 8 of Tony Polk. Then right behind him there, we got the 7 of Russ Kilgore, Randy Schweitzer, and the 78. Is that one of the ones that disconnected? Yes. So Randy Schweitzer not in tonight's race. And Russ Endicott, the 57, rounds out your field.
All right, and there we go. Your final lineup here for this evening. We did see Russ Kilgore having a little bit of issues out there, having to rejoin the session a few times, but thankfully he was able to make it back in. Of course, people probably seeing, where's the 81? Where's Osborne? Well, Osborne had to basically re-download the base operating system on his computer, not just iRacing, but everything. So he is unfortunately going to miss out here tonight.
Yeah, if he registered for the race, he can still get in later, can he? He just can't. Oh, he'd be on the entry screen if he would have, huh?
Yeah,
he's not on there. He's not on there. Not gonna make it tonight. Sorry, Chachi. Had to reinstall Windows.
All right, so here we go, getting ready to go to the green flag racing for the first time here tonight. Now, Mr. Kewins, I gotta ask you this question: is how much do you want to push here early? It is a long race, 94 laps, 250 miles. So these guys have plenty of time to make up some of that ground. However, I got a feeling you don't want to sit too far in the back for too long.
No, you never know about these races. This race could go green the whole way, and if that's the case, you really don't want to lose the tail end of that lead pack. That's where I would like to be. Eventually, these guys are going to get split up into separate groups. So if you could position yourself to be up there in the lead pack somewhere, is where I'd like to be riding.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, indeed. Well, as they're making their way through turns 3 and 4, how about some race predictions as well? Let's maybe pick a driver who we think is going to pick up that win here tonight. As man, these plate tracks, it's a gamble. It's anybody's game. And you know what? I think tonight it's going to be finally that 76 machine of Jeff Ottinger's night.
I'd love to see the 55 of Ricky Wittenberg and that Cult of Chaos number 55 pick up a win. It's been a long time for him. He's had a lot of difficulties with hardware and whatnot, so it'd be amazing if we can get the 55 a win.
I'd like to see Greg Klein in the 92 win this race. I know he's a very good plate racer, and he's capable of getting it done.
As here they come, taking the green flag for the first time here tonight. Albert and Jess side by side getting this race started. Green flag racing here at Talladega side by side with that 728 of Pope, giving that 2 machine a big bump in that rear end. Got to be careful, make sure those bumpers are all lined up. We saw a big issue with that last night at Atlanta, as people kind of bobbing and weaving, trying to pick their lines and make their way on through. As here comes the 01 of Kelly Keel, maybe not liking how the pace was being set by his teammates up on that outside. He's jumping up out there to try to aid in adding some of that help on the outside.
It was kind of a missed opportunity by the 29 and the 33 on that start. They just weren't close enough together, and the 01 got a big run on the inside. There's Dustin really in the 37. So Vigilante Forces all together here. Let's see if they can get in the same line here and work together.
Yeah, it looked like that bottom line was a little more organized there on that start. It might take a couple laps for this outside to get going now.
3 wide already back here, the 29, the 48, the 753.
And it looks like they're going to just tuck right back into line. Might have been a case of they had a pretty big run and just kind of drifted out to the outside to not really have to check up the entire field. But of course, as I say that,
checkups.
Here goes that 48. He's going to bring the 72 with him and the 3, trying to get those Cult of Chaos cars around on this outside, making it 3 wide here early.
Chandler Paul and Austin Paul right there behind the 48 machine of Jack the Ripper Dixon. Did a pretty good job. They're holding their own out there. They kind of run out of room in parts of the track there. They could just stay together, though. They might be able to make something happen here.
And it almost looked like that 37 of Dustin really was willing to maybe jump out to that far outside line, get them drug up there to get 3 lines really working here. As here they come, the 48 with a big run on the 29 machine. So, yeah, Cult of Chaos looking very strong, ready to just make this thing 3 wide, and they want some cars up there trying to get a good finish, because I don't think anybody from Cult of Chaos picked up a podium here this season.
I'm trying to remember back in time. I think you might be right on that. 82 at Everidge in a pretty dang good spot right here behind Ricky Wittenberg, sitting in that 4th row. That upper line just not quite enough momentum just yet.
No, that 48, he's trying to make that extreme outside line work, but it's not working out for him quite yet. He's going to have to get around 4 teammates there that's lined up on the outside, and that's going to be real tough without a lot of help.
As, we got scattering going on around, cars going down onto the apron. As there goes the 33. He sees the run coming up on that outside. He's saying, no, I'm going to jump up here with you guys. I'm going to try to get everybody back up here to the front. As here they go, 3 wide here for the first couple rows with Albert Anderson leading that bottom charge.
Well, Jack Dixon bailed on the 33 there and decided, I'm going to go with your teammates here, try to split y'all up a little bit. That was the 753 of Jeremiah Burke that dived down onto the apron in that Pennzoil car last lap.
Ooh, the 55 and the 29 trading a little bit of paint there. I think both cars maybe getting a little snug through that tri-oval area. We know that tri-oval doesn't get talked about a lot because of how weird of a bank it is. It's got a little progressive bank to it. It's definitely one of those things, if you can't see in front of you, like these guys who have, a car in a bumper directly in front of them and can't really see things, it's kind of difficult through there.
Yeah, my thing is, especially if I'm in VR, I'm sticking my head looking as far down as I can, trying to see where that yellow line's at, trying to keep track of that way.
I'm watching Jess Vaught here right now. It looks like maybe he's decided he's had enough of the front. He's going to hang out in the back.
Yeah, we are seeing a good chunk of movement happening up here at the front, but again, that's just all part of this draft package. These guys having to deal with a lot of air being bounced around on those cars as they head on through turns 1 and 2, doing dang near 190 miles an hour.
Kathy A joining us over there on YouTube saying, let's get it, Albert. It's the last race. Chachi joining us on YouTube as a spectator tonight saying, good luck everyone. Had to reinstall Windows. The car gets loose on the entry and the exit of the tri-oval too. Real bad, he says. Thanks for that inside information there, Chachi. Jonah Long also saying, let's go Ricky. Rooting for you out there.
Oh, as they bob and weave, the checkup's happening, but look at that 728 all over that back bumper, the two of Albert Anderson, as the 55 sees a teammate in that 48 jumping on out to that far outside line, trying to make this thing 3 wide again.
Yeah, and they've got the 72 Chan the Man right there behind them. They're going to try to make this outside line work once again. Don't have a whole heck of a lot of room to work with up there, especially in the turns.
No, but they're making it work right now.
It's going to be hard to beat those teammates on the bottom yellow line down there that are stuck together like glue. 728 of Pope and the 2 of Anderson in that Napa Toyota.
Man, I don't want to disagree with you there, because we all know that's kind of where you want to be, as that 01 getting a big push here from that 37 machine. He's going to get a lead lap there as they come across the line. However, here comes that bottom line once again. It just seems that bottom line, even though they might have a little bit of space between some of the cars after that 82 of Everidge, they just seem a little bit more put together here.
Well, and look how tight of a line they're holding. Well, as soon as I say that, they start doing a little bit of snaking. But they've been pretty straight and pretty steady on that bottom line. The 01 just cannot get clear of the front bumper of the 2 there. 37's pushing as hard as he can, though.
2 in the 728, they just seem like they're a little more organized in the outside lane. They're able to stay hooked up a little better.
Yeah, both of them great race car drivers. Both of them hold a great line. Pope's just about one of the perfect pushers out there. Kelly Keel leading that second line there. He's one of those guys that's great at pushing. I'd love to have the 01 behind me in a race, but right now he's leading that line. He's dependent on the cars behind him to push him.
Yeah, and that one of those cars is that 37 of Dustin Really, kind of known as the Big Show Killer, as he shows up at these plate tracks in big ways. He just manages to find a way to pick up wins here in the later stages of these races, and we all know he's one that if you can just stick around him for most of your race, you're in for a pretty good finish.
Chachi's saying, the team that can take care of their tires the best, not have to take them when they come down pit road is going to be the winner tonight. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. There's going to be some guys that are going to do some fuel-only stops. Maybe some guys doing 2 tires later on in the race, but track position definitely a premium here when they start pitting.
Man, and how about this view from the roof of the 7? Russ Rocket Man Kilgore not having the best of luck here at plate tracks, but having a very good season. I think he's up there in like 6, which is his best season thus far here at Vigilante, and he's looking pretty strong here tonight, just kind of taking his time, staying in the back. He sees the 3 wide action going on around him.
Yeah, that's smart. I'm watching the other guys behind him, Jeremiah Burke and Michael Adamson. They're all hanging out back there.
Man, we talk about big movers throughout these races. How about that 82 of Mike Everidge and the 92 of Greg Klein, both up double digits already. Same thing with the 11 of Chad McCabe, all up into this top 10, as that bottom line's picking up some pretty good runs here, but that bottom line is really working.
Yeah, it looks like Jack Dixon and Ricky Wittenberg finally abandoned that third lane They tried to make it work, and they got close, but didn't happen.
Now, and of course, who's kind of picking and bobbing and choosing his lanes here? It's that 76, Jeff Ottinger, my pick here tonight, as he moves on up 8 spots to get into 8th position here. Just slowly being very methodical to pick his lanes and move on up through this field, as he's now tucked in behind that Vigilante Force team up at the front.
Yeah, not a whole lot of contact or anything so far tonight. We've seen a little bit of rubbing up there, but it's been pretty tame out there here so far.
I imagine the aggression will ramp up once we get to the later laps of this race.
As we are only here on lap 12 out of 94. Ooh, the 11, Chad McCabe, dealing with some really loose situations in that race car on that bottom line. Thankfully, he has the apron to kind of get things collected back together, but he's got to be careful, because if he does that on one of these turns, that transition between the banking and the apron, man, that can cause absolute mayhem.
That can even get you in the tri-oval, even though it's a smaller transition there. It's not as acute of an angle there. It can still get you. I've lost it in the middle of the tri-oval before.
Side by side racing we go here. Looks like we're taking a quick break from that 3 wide action, as everybody kind of just shuffling down into a line. Some people do have to be a little bit careful here, as that 753 Jeremiah Burke is starting to pick up the pace here now just a little bit to rejoin that main draft, but he was very close to falling off of that pack. He does have some help there from his teammate Mike Adamson, Dion Jones, and Andrew Cawthon back there, as Earl Evans, he's going to have to be careful here. He's got the leaders coming up behind him very, very quickly, only about 4 seconds back behind him now.
Only about a half second between first place and 10th place. So that just goes to show you how fast these guys are running out there. There's a lot of real estate out there, but only half a second within the top 10 cars.
As Earl
Like the lap cars up,
Yep, Earl Evans sticking to that high outside right next to the wall line, trying to let this pack of leaders go on around. He's going to be the only one eligible right now for that lucky dog spot, so he has no issues drifting all the way back, waiting for everyone to get around him, and if a caution comes out, well, there he goes. He's going to get that lap back.
Yeah, it's not because he lost the draft or anything. He had to start in the pits tonight because of a carryover penalty from last week, so that's the reason he's going 1 lap down right now. He didn't have anybody to run with out there, so 15 laps later, he lost the lap.
Oh, it's the Vigilante Force team kind of separating here. You got 2 drivers on the inside, 2 drivers on the outside. It's still going to be Keel and Reilly on that outside, as Mayberry jumps into line right in front of Just Vaught.
Russ Kilgore joining him on the outside now.
Earl Evans able to stay with these guys now. He's got drafting help now. He's not going to lose another lap.
Man, the 37 had that window open down low, and he just shoved that car down in there, trying to regain some of that momentum. And who knows, maybe that outside line will get back together and up towards the front here. But as of right now, single file racing here for at least the first 6 or 7 positions.
Single file at Talladega. Gracious.
These boys just want to click off some laps right now and get to the end of this race. Pit stops will be coming probably within the next 10 laps, I would say.
Think so.
15 laps.
What percentage of fuel are we running here tonight?
60% fuel.
60% fuel. So yeah, that's gonna be. I think you're right there, Special K. I think right around that 25 lap mark is probably gonna be the number. We normally see about 30 laps out of these cars, so I think 25 is gonna be that number. And of course, it's all gonna be who can get the best entries down onto pit lane, as well as you gotta have friends coming down with you.
No, you definitely don't want to pit alone here.
As it looks like everybody really just shuffling on down. The 76 machine Or excuse me, that's the 7, the Rod Baker Ford of Russ Kilgore jumping back out to that outside line. I think he just wasn't quite comfortable sitting down there in line right now. He's got no help around him. The lap traffic car of 13, Earl Evans, is kind of running around on that outside, all on his lonesome again. He's kind of got a little bit of a benefit here. He's now going to be able to kind of sit in line and save some fuel as these guys continue to put laps down here at Talladega. Albert Anderson does have to be careful here. He might want to start getting in contact with Timothy Pope, as he might want to start saving a little bit of fuel to make sure he can at least make it to the end of this run.
Yeah, Earl Evans has the benefit of he's not racing anybody. You know, he's on a lap by himself, and as long as he doesn't get any contact, if they have a caution, you know, he's going to get that lap back. So, not having to race anybody right now. Earl's just riding around out there. He's probably eating potato chips or a quarter pounder with cheese, just kind of cruising.
Yeah, just keep the car clean. That's priority number 1.
Amen.
As you can almost dang well see the whites of Timothy Pope's eyes as he gets that bumper right up on that 2 of Albert Anderson. The 82, Mike Everidge. Man, talk about a heck of a run here tonight. Same with that 92 of Greg Klein and the 11 of Chad McCabe. All 3 drivers up double-digit positions here as they're all inside this top 5 now.
Look, we watch these leaders push each other here. You see, second place doesn't have to give the leader a giant shot. Just getting there is enough to make you that run.
You know,
Yeah, keeping that bumper as close as he can, you know, that's basically what he's trying to do. You know, you don't have to be perfectly square on somebody to do that. You do have to be perfectly square on them if you're going to be pushing them, physically touching them.
Yeah, I'd rather, if I'm leading, I'd rather the pusher not hit me real hard, just kind of just ease in there.
oh, as we had takers coming down into pit road, Deion Jones, Andrew Cawthon, and Russ Endicott all diving down into pit lane here as we are still single file racing. But to that point, Kewins, you know, it kind of reminds me of that ARCA car where, you know, you really can't bump draft in those things. The hoods are just a little too rounded and it's hard to square up those rear ends. But man, if you can put that thing 1 inch and hold it there right behind the guy in front of you, man, talk about a run you can get.
Yes, like if you can start here in that inch and start whining a couple hundred extra RPM, that's where you want it.
Yeah, those ARCA cars shaped like a doorstop too, so if you do get that nose right up underneath them, it'll lift their back tires off the ground.
They updated the ARCA cars. I haven't got to drive them since then.
I haven't either, man. I really need to get back into it.
As you can physically hear that RPM change there in that 728 machine of Pope. It's music to my ears, man. They did something great with these NASCAR cars and these engines that when you get things just right, oh man, those things just hum.
Well, it looked like we had a few penalties on pit road. Deion Jones still sitting there. Got a black flag right now. Maybe that was on exit. Oh no! If that was on pit exit, he's going to have to come down again. All those guys had 40-plus second pit stops.
It's a little too
Jones,
quick coming on in.
Cat and Cawthon.
Yeah, a little too quick coming in and a little too quick coming out as Albert Anderson continues to lead laps here from Talladega. Timothy Pope, Mike Everidge, Greg Klein, and Chad McCabe all up inside that top 5. You then have that Vigilante Force team all grouped up once again, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Kelly Keel, Dustin Reilly, Dave, Hot Rod Mayberry, and Jess Vaught. As here we go, pit stops.
Yeah, Jones back down to service penalty.
Oh, that 2 of Albert Anderson. He's got to be careful there. That was very close to a penalty, but Anderson, Pope, Everidge, Burke, Adamson, as well as Earl Evans all coming on down.
Burke speeding on pit road. Black flag for the 753. Golly.
And, oh, here comes Vigilante Force. Maybe a little too much bobbling here. He gets forced up. That's the 01 of Kill a Keel. Getting forced to that outside. He's going to have to tuck back into the inside line here if they're going to want to pit here.
It looks like second place took gas only, but I'm not sure why Albert Anderson is still on pit road.
Oh, as everything's getting slicey and dicey as they make their way down onto pit road here. Just about everybody else coming on in. The mad scramble here down on pit road being led by the 92 of Greg Klein. He's going to be able to find his pit box pretty easy, but he's going to have to be careful on pit exit here from everybody getting in and out of those boxes. As, yeah, Timothy Pope just maybe a
Average speeding.
Oh no, Mike Everidge caught speeding here as Pope with that maybe miscommunication with his teammate there of Albert Anderson. Really no help out there around him. He's waiting for some traffic to kind of hurry up to catch on up to him as everybody making their way out of pit road. Greg Klein with a good stop. Same thing with Jess Vaught. Chad McCabe looked like he didn't take anything. I have a 0-second time for that 11 machine.
Yeah, I see that. Albert Anderson with a 49-second pit stop. He might have had a flag, and it cleared it before I saw it.
Pit road.
Oh, 11 of Chad McCabe. Oh, and he just comes right up onto the track, and that's going to... Man, that affects the 37 big time as they're going to be 3 wide with 1 car on the apron. The 55, Ricky Whitberg. Man, this is rush hour traffic down there in Houston. Everybody trying to find their lane.
I'm not sure what happened to Albert Anderson, but he had a very extended pit stop.
He did hit that commitment cone, so it might have been an unsafe pit entry there for Anderson.
Greg Klein will be your leader.
My pick of the race.
Cycles around to be your leader. He also had a pretty good pit stop at 977, fuel only stop. Up 16 spots, but so is the 7 of Russ Kilgore. These guys came up from way in the back.
As we have about 3 cars up here in this main group. They do have some lap traffic there kind of aiding in that draft effort. Here, Greg Klein, Jess Vaught, and Tim Pope. And then you got Mike Everidge, Jack Dixon, Russ Kilgore, Jeff Ottinger, Ricky Wittenberg, Chan the Man, Chandler, Paul, and Dustin really all inside this top 10. As, man, green flag pit stops. We always say it's kind of a big key here at these plate tracks. And man, oh man, did people maybe need to practice those a little bit more.
Well, because it looks easy, right? It's an easy to enter pit road. It's just hard to judge your speed and try to get it all the way down to where it needs to be there at 55 miles an hour.
And it's a lot different, too, when you peel off the track in a pack, too. Everybody's locking up their tires, and
yep,
your braking point's different at that point than what you practiced all week.
Yep, great point, because you got some guys that use a different mark on the track or the edge of the grandstands or whatever they're using. And that'll change a little bit, though, as guys are a little bit more cautious. Try not to run over the guy in front of them. Ooh. And you get a big checkup situation.
So we got 3 wide action going on here with 37 in the 01 Vigilante Force teammates, Really and Keel, working together on that far outside line, trying to work their way around that 76 machine of Jeff Ottinger. They are able to. Oh, here goes Jack the Ripper Dixon. He sees the run coming, and he throws a big old block.
Yeah, these guys got to be careful up here. Don't push the pusher. The 01 was right there on the back bumper of Really in the 37, and the 37 was already in contact with the 48, so they got to really, really watch that. That's kind of up to the guy pushing the first car. Say, hey, back off. Don't push me right now. I'm in contact with another car.
And look at that 48 machine try to control both lines out here. Now that outside line of Keel and Really with that big run, they're well cleared. The 76 is making a charge here as well. He's got some help from that 11 of Chad McCabe, as this kind of fighting is not what these guys really want to do. as there's
No.
about a 6.5 second gap up back to where the leaders are.
Yeah, they really want to get in line and start chipping away at that 6.5 second gap.
So I'm not sure the 37 is the car you want leading that line right now. He's got some heavy rear end damage, and that is going to affect the aero on that car, even though it's on the back. He'd do a lot better, I would think, if he was one of the cars in behind these cleaner machines.
You definitely could be right there, but also, I mean, those little dents, they actually kind of help out to maybe give you an aim point to square those bumpers up for Kelly Keel, who we know is a fantastic pusher at these tracks, as the 48 trying to get involved here, maybe do a little push the pusher action. I know we got to be careful about that. However, if they want to make up those 6 seconds, 7 seconds, they're going to have to be pretty aggressive here.
I'm watching this lead pack right now, and Albert Anderson, he's coming on the outside. He wants his lap back the hard way here.
Yeah, he does have some help from a teammate. Looks like that's going to be Jeremiah Burke in that 753 machine as they go 2 by 2 up here for the first couple spots. Looks like Jeremiah might have... Oh, as a 2 getting down there right in front of Greg Klein's bumper, getting that lap back, man. Talk about the hard way. Absolutely slamming that door shut as Jeremiah Burke runs the fastest lap of the race.
And that'll put the 13 of Earl Evans back in that lucky dog position, at least for now. He's going to have to fight with Jeremiah Burke and Russ Endicott and Andrew Cawthon, Mike Everidge for that.
So races inside of a race as we're approaching the third of the way through here. Mark here on lap 30. Got Greg Klein out there in the lead, but that pack is being led by that 2 of Albert Anderson, just barely ahead, keeping that lead lap position. You got Jess Vaught there in second with a 7:28 of Timothy Pope there as well, and then that 7-second gap on back to where 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, just about everybody else is at. It's kind of almost getting to the point where people like Adamson, Mayberry, Polk, and the guys that are a lap down, they might start thinking about having a caution here, because it's going to get even more difficult the more laps that they chip away here. That's less opportunities for them to get that lap back.
Yeah, that second group really needs to get this figured out if they want to run down this lead pack, because there may be only 3 lead lap cars in there, but there's still they're a pack of 9 running out there, so it's really going to be hard to catch them.
Best thing they can do is get organized, get together as close as they can, all run right there down close to that yellow line, and try to reel them in.
But the other thing that we're seeing here, and this is kind of what aided the last time I ran the Daytona 500 here in the sim, was up here in this lead group, you got a mix of lead lap and lap down cars. Well, I was able to get a 3rd place finish with a damaged race car because that's what I did. I just stuck with some people, whether they were laps down or whatnot. We were all willing to work together, and I was able to get some last lap passes done to get a 3rd place there. So, I mean, even though these guys are a lap down, I mean, just them being in that lead group here, that's really helping their cause.
Everyone is a potential friend.
While we are kind of single file racing here tonight, let's go ahead and talk about our great sponsors once again, like DND Race Graphics, and that's graphics spelled Grafix. Fantastic paint jobs. I mean, you could see there from the Cult of Chaos cars of Wittenberg and Paul and the other Paul. Absolutely fantastic paint jobs there, so be sure to go and look them up as they have some really, really good paint schemes there. as well as his real-life business of Keller Williams in Johnson City, Tennessee. Reach out to Ricky at 423-444-0454 if you're looking to buy or sell your house in that Johnson City, Tennessee area or across the country. He's got a whole list of contacts if he can't help you out personally. And man, having a realtor you can trust is what it's all about these days, especially in this crazy housing market. So don't do it alone. Get yourself a good quality realtor.
Still single file up here.
Add that they are still single file. We got that 753 of Jeremiah Burke. He's sitting right behind that guy. He's trying to fight for that lucky dog spot. I'm actually kind of surprised they're not fighting here a little bit. I know he doesn't have too much help. There is that 57 of Russ Endicott sitting behind him here, but there's a little bit of a gap there. As man, these guys from the kind of get-go, they were starting to play some pretty hefty chess moves. Now it looks like it's been kind of a Monopoly game. It's all in it for the long haul.
What lap did everybody come down pit road the last time?
20.
About 23?
23.
23?
We had a couple short pitters that pitted at 22, but most of them 23.
So we're coming up to about 10 more laps before they start to think about coming on in. We already saw how crazy pit road can be here for that first round of green flag pit stops, and I just got a feeling it's going to get even crazier as people might, knowing they have to make up a little bit of ground, a little bit of time, they might send it in a little bit quick.
Yeah, that could cause a mistake and either an accident, or we've already seen a number of black flags tonight.
They got to get that speed down. Even if it comes to short pit it. That way you don't have a lot of traffic around you. Make sure you got somebody with you, though. That way you got some drafting help, but try to avoid the crowd, maybe.
And speaking of getting some drafting help, that 8 of Polk Salatoni. Tony Polk in the worst position you could possibly be here at Talladega, and that is in no man's land. He has nobody around him. He will have Albert Anderson about 4 seconds back where that lead pack is coming up, so eventually they'll start to catch up to him here. But unfortunately for Tony, that would mean he will end up going a lap down when the leaders catch up to him.
It'll just be another guy in that lead pack fighting for the lucky dog. If Greg ever decides to go around Albert here, he'll be another one that they'll have to fight for it.
I got a feeling Greg is probably already thinking...
Saving gas.
Saving gas.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in a great spot to do so. Oh!
As we say that, he goes to the outside.
Of course, he's got that 33 of Jess Vaught. They have been working together here just about all season long. So we're seeing teammates get back together here with that 728 of Pope and the 2 of Anderson. But that 33 and the 92 really working together.
Earl Evans wants in on this, and so does the 4. They want to lap back too. So they're going to fight because they're racing the 2 machine right now.
That they are, as the 92 jumps back down into line, maybe seeing that Pope and Anderson getting a little bit more of a run there. So he jumps back down into line, kind of getting out of the way here from that 33, as here they come up onto that 8. Oh, things are going to get dicey. Dangerous moves happening here. It's going to be 2 wide. It's almost going to be 3 wide here. Pope, Vaught, and Polk Salatoni as bobbing and weaving goes on. Everybody stays off of the wall. Whoo, boy.
And the 8 told him on the radio, said, hey, I see y'all coming. I'm going to stay as close to the yellow line as I can so y'all can go around me on the outside. At least he let them know.
I'm a big fan I like it if I'm leading that pack if the lapper goes high.
Yeah, I am too.
And then it helps. It kind of slows down that if you're racing side by side, it kind of slows down that outside pack and lets you, when whoever's pushing you, get away a little bit.
Now the 8's going to jump down on the apron and let those other cars by. So smooth, classy move by the 8 of Tony Pope.
Yes.
As that kind of stuff kind of shook things up a little bit, though. Greg Klein still kind of maintaining that lead. He's out in front of that, too, of Anderson. So Anderson now in that lucky dog spot. You got Jess Vaught sitting behind Timothy Pope now. So that shook things up just a little bit. You still got that 753 of Jeremiah Burke. He's going to be the closest one here to Albert Anderson trying to fight for that lucky dog spot.
And Limitless proving why, they've done so well this season and have secured up that team championship. Look right there, the front of this, basically the class of the field. The top 5, you got 3 Limitless drivers there.
What?
I'm sorry, I was
I was
counting the 2. I'm sorry.
I was.
My bad.
I was gonna say you got
It's still throwing me off.
You got Timothy Pope up there. I know especially with how this race has gone. You got Timothy Pope up there, but then Burke is back in 16th. Mike Adamson's in 13th, and Anderson's back in 15th.
I'm an idiot.
But hey, it's easy to get confused here. I mean, but that's just really the case, like throughout this entire field. I know we're focused on this lead group, but as well, you got Jess Vaught, the lone vigilante force guy up here in this lead group, because it's Kelly Keel and Dustin Reilly, Hot Rod Mayberry, all the way back here in this kind of like chase pack.
I'm just trying so hard to find things to talk about at this point, and I just happen to see all those guys together. Sorry about the brain fart there, guys.
Well, you'll have things.
The 51 and the 29, they're kind of just riding in their own little pack back there with the 82.
Yeah, I got the 29 and the 82 working together. Got Mike Adamson, Dave, Hot Rod, Mayberry, and the 82, Mike Everidge, who had to serve another penalty for, I think it was a speeding on pit road exit. So he had to come back down. But speaking of pit road, we're coming up on that point where these guys are going to start coming down again.
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm trying to see if anybody from the 2 packs peel off.
Start to see that here in about 3 laps or so.
Oh, as here they come. We got Earl Evans leading the charge. Got some tire smoke there. Oh, still coming in a little hot. Oh, my goodness. We're going to have to get the radar gun out on that one. The 10 of Andrew Cawthon there, as well as the 4 of Dion Jones. Looks like the 57 of Russ Endicott coming on down as well. So here we go. Another round of pit stops happening here, which means we only got one more pit stop after this one, and then these guys will make it to the end. Well, will they? It's going to be close.
It's going to be real close. We'll see after they come in, and we'll have to bust the calculator out and do some math.
Some of these guys are really good about saving fuel at these plate tracks, and you can't really do that if you're leading one of the lines. So
No, you cannot.
I mean, fuel mileage has been crucial in several plate tracks that we've seen so far this season. We've seen guys run out of fuel on the last lap, in fact.
And they are, as laps continue to be put away here from Talladega. Lap 44 out of 94, which means we're quickly approaching that halfway point. These guys have been racing for about half an hour, so running a very quick pace, but that's all thanks to that green flag racing that they've got going on for them right now.
Yeah, it's been a very quick race so far. Very clean.
Seven getting a pretty good push from the 76, Jeff Ottinger. Those 2 guys are trying to work together a little bit on that middle line. Kind of hard to keep that momentum going when there's so many cars on the inside.
That there is, and it's that gap up to where Jess Vaught is in that kind of lead group pack has inched its way down. It's now back down to about 6 seconds even. However, that still is a large amount of time that these guys are trying to make up, and you can possibly make up probably 2 seconds of that, I would say, with a very aggressive pit stop.
We have the 29 and the 51 on pit road.
Yeah, we do, as here comes Greg Klein. Is he going to come on down this time by? No, he is not. He is staying on out there for at least one more lap. Same thing with that 2 of Anderson, 728 of Pope, Jess Vaught, all staying on out there. Same thing with Jeremiah Burke.
Keep in mind, Greg Klein stayed behind the 2 of Anderson for a very long time, running probably 3/4 throttle. So he did save a little bit more fuel probably than a couple of them other guys did.
Very true. You might be able to go a couple more laps than what he did the last time. Nope. And as I say that, he says, come over the radio and says he's coming in this time.
So pretty much right on that button, 23 laps exactly again. Sorry if I stole your point there, English.
No, you got it, man. The quicker we can get the information out, the better. I don't care about stealing lines. Here he brings Pope and Vaught with him. Whoa! Really locking the brakes up hard. Looks like he got it woed up just in time there, though. A lot of tire smoke coming in the pits.
Looked like some very good entries there this time around. Everybody
Very good.
coming in exactly how you want to. Hot, but not too hot. Now, that's going to give the lead temporarily here to Jack Dixon. He's going to lead this, what was formerly Chase Pack group, on around. They last pitted on lap 23 here. So trying to maybe run that one extra lap, gain a little bit more time. He's got his teammate there, Ricky Wittenberg, right there behind him. The 3, Austin Paul and the man Chandler Paul there as well. So Cult of Chaos all together here tonight.
Here they come down pit road.
Oh, locking them on up. That's the 3 of Austin Paul. He's able to get it slowed up in time, though.
Yeah, a little bit different story than we saw last round of pit stops. Not a single black flag yet so far for these guys.
And then we'll have to keep our eyes out as I think it was the exit that caught a lot of people out. A lot of people kind of were speeding maybe just a little too much coming on out as the 33 after that round of pit stops was able to leapfrog back over that 2 of Albert Anderson to tuck back up behind the 92 of Greg Klein. Timothy Pope still there in line. You also got that 82 Mike Everidge. He's now going to be kind of fighting it out with Albert Anderson for that lucky dog spot here. Same thing with Jeremiah Burke. All those guys still working together here as those guys that just came down pit road, Jack Dixon, Austin Paul, Kelly Keel, also who pitted the lap before. They, for a second there, they did make up some of that time, but man, they are quickly losing it here again.
Mike Everidge did pit a couple of laps after these guys on that first round. So he's getting a couple of extra laps of racing in now. I think he was really hoping for a yellow flag as he's going to have to pit down here by himself, it looks like.
And we saw what happens with that with Tony Polk. It just gets, it's just tough, man. It's tough to be running out here all on your lonesome.
Some beautifully painted cars out here tonight. See a couple of cars that Ricky has painted out there. D&D Race Graphics. Definitely check him out on Trading Paints. Ricky Wittenberg on Trading Paints. And D&D Race Graphics, GRAFIX on Facebook. He's got a good Facebook page. Send him a message.
Yeah, he'll paint just about anything as long as it's got some square sides. So maybe not the Formula One car out there, but if you like racing those dirt sprints or dirt modifieds or whatever, he could probably get you a good solid paint job. And of course, everybody likes seeing those super colorful cars go around those dirt tracks on those Saturday nights.
Like tie-dye shirts with wheels.
Yeah.
Well, after doing some math here, fellas, if they run another 23 laps like they did the last run, that puts them at lap 69, and it's 25 laps to go at the end.
Ooh, can they save that extra lap or lap and a half of fuel? Man, that's going to be the big question. I know Greg Klein isn't in the position to be really making that call right now because he is leading this pack, and as we all know, that lead car, it just drains the fuel out of that thing.
They're going to need a caution to save up that much fuel, at least one caution.
And at this point,
be killing their engine around there the whole time.
Yeah, at this point, we're going to need a caution to get that second pack caught up too, because they just haven't been able to make up any ground.
No, but at the same time, though, can that chase pack use this to their advantage if they know about this kind of what you want to call it, but just kind of like how close it is going to be on fuel, maybe not run as hard to try to make up that ground, saying, well, if those guys end up running out of fuel for how hard they're pushing it up front, we can maybe make up a few spots.
Yes, 100%. If I'm Kelly Keel right now, the leader of that second pack, I'm pulling over and I'm running in the back and I'm running 75% throttle the rest of this race to save fuel to that last pit stop.
Yeah, you can make all these plans and do all that stuff,
and then a caution comes out and it changes everything.
It all goes out the damn window. But hey, man, you got to have some kind of plan going through your head right now. And if you do get a caution, adapt and overcome. Do whatever you got to do to figure it out, man. You don't have a crew chief. You don't have a team engineer, trying to figure all this crap. You're on your own out there, buddy.
Yeah, you've got
to figure it out. That's right.
But
these guys work a lot of that kind of crap out in practice, so they've got an idea.
They probably know where they got to hit if this race goes green.
As we're taking a look there back at Jeff Ottinger, looked very strong in that opening portion of the race. He's now in 10th, trying to fight for some of his draft in life here, as the 10 of Andrew Cawthon sitting in 17th. He's sitting right behind the 4, Dion Jones, driving that Captain Morgan car. Man, I had a ton of that last week.
Well, you got to drink rum if you're in the Caribbean, man.
Yeah, when in Rome, right?
That's right. Exactly. Thank you.
Right. But again, really, I know Greg Klein isn't 100% a part of that Vigilante Force team right now, but he's really the only help that Jess Vought's got up here in this front pack, because you got the 2 of Anderson, who's a lap down, working with the 728 of Timothy Pope, who's fighting inside that top 3, and 753 Jeremiah Burke, all part of that team Limitless. And
Cawthon is around, wrecking. He might have had some help there, but single car crash, no caution.
Yeah,
He's got a lot of damage.
It looks like the 48 might have just gave him a little off-center shot there. And sent him around.
Oh, hard impact into that inside wall, too. Thankfully, not hitting the front compartment where the engine is. However, that is going to really hurt Cawthon's race here. As let's go ahead and take a quick view from that chopper cam. But yeah, just bumpers just not quite lined up. A little bobble in a little bit of a weave. And that's exactly what can happen. But just like that, we almost had that caution we were talking about.
Yeah,
just like that, it could have changed just like that.
Yeah, they're going to need at least 2 cars involved before they start thinking about throwing a caution. And being that the 10 machine was way off the races, there's a lot of runoff area on the back stretch at Talladega, so that really did save them.
Now, next year, did I see that they was going to start with stage racing and stuff like that?
Yeah, you know what? That's something we can actually get into and start talking about here. is what to look forward to next season, which is going to start up September 28th. So just a couple of weeks off for these guys before they head back out there onto the track. They will be returning in the trucks, which we absolutely love the racing in trucks, as I think those are some of the most competitive and I would say driver-friendly car here on the service at like oval side, where guys can really kind of push it to the limit. And I mean, we've seen a lot of good people come up through those trucks. But yeah, we're going to be seeing some caution, some stage racing here, trying to keep the groups kind of not like this where they're all spread out, but keep things all grouped back up. There's going to be a kind of, I don't know if it's
playoff. It's a playoff format.
I was going to say it's a playoff format where we're going to reduce the number of drivers in it for a chance of a championship week by week, and that's just going to be based off of finishing positions. There's not going to be any sorry, I'm seeing something pop up here. It's just some passes being made back here. I think that's over on where like Chandler Paul is. People still trying to kind of bob and weave for their position here, but either way, it's just going to be straight up points, no like lead lap bonus points or anything like that. And I think it's a win and you're in situation too in the regular season part. So man, that first race of the season is going to be a big one, where if you can start off your year with a win, you're already locked into at least the first round.
Yeah, that helps a lot to take a lot of pressure off of you the rest of the season.
Well, not only that, they're going to also test out having iRacing cautions. It's been a lot on Lori's plate doing race control and determine whether or not to throw a caution. So having iRacing handle the cautions is going to take some take some pressure off of her, and it's going to just for optics sake, to satisfy critics, it's going to be object 100%. Whether whatever people think. You're going to have people accuse you of doing this or that, no matter how hard you're trying. And Lori's done one hell of a job up in the booth. But they're going to give it a trial run. But if it ends up leading to a bunch of caution fests, they're going to go back to the way they're doing it now. But they're definitely going to give it a trial run.
And that is definitely something we are going to look forward to. As you can see there, Chandler Paul, he's sitting back there having a good time, having a good talk with his teammates back there. He's got really no pressure. He's in a pretty good spot, hanging right off that tail end of that chase pack, so he's able to ride around pretty comfortably there. But you can still see he's still focused in. He sees that 55 machine, Ricky Wittenberg, there in front of his bumper, and he's still trying to keep on up with his teammates here.
Russ Kilgore's still doing a pretty good job up there in holding on to a top 10 in that 7 car. Up 12 spots from where he started. Pretty good night for the 7 machine.
Yeah, and you know what? We talked about it this season. It really helps Rocket Man when he keeps all 4 tires on the racing surface,
yeah.
As he's had a pretty good season. He's had a chance at a couple podium finishes here at the ends of some of these, just kind of getting the short end of the stick on those final laps.
Yeah, it helps a lot with your finish position at the end of these races if you can keep all 4 tires on the track.
Yeah, he's had that Rod Baker Ford Mustang up in the air, in the stands, over fences. Most of the time at a big plate track like this.
That's where them things usually happen.
Indeed, as these guys continue to put laps down here from Talladega here on lap 61 out of 94. So we're approaching that 2/3 of the way through this race. We also got Earl Evans out here still running strong in that Bad Luck 13 machine. He's had his work cut out for him here. He's still stuck that 1 lap down, but he's doing a good job. He's at least hanging on with one of these little packs that kind of formed up here. Right now he's working with the 51 of Adamson. He's got the 29 of Mayberry there as well, 82 of Everidge, the 11 of McCabe. So people are kind of sticking and finding these little communities to try to kind of race with.
I mean, be honest. Did you really think we'd be 62 laps into a race at Talladega and not have a single yellow?
No.
No, and where we've really only had one whiff of a possible caution.
You think that has to do with car count? Yeah, these drivers are very skilled.
Dion Jones having an issue. Let's go back and see kind of what happened with him here. Oh, his engine blew. His engine blew in turns 3 and 4, and he ended up having to tow into the pit. So, Dion Jones having a rough one here tonight.
I wonder if his engine just got too hot from pushing.
I don't know, but either way, Greg Klein still leading this race with that 33 of Vought sitting right behind him. It's definitely showing up that these guys are kind of in it for the long haul here, but the heat is going to start turned on up as they're approaching that possible final pit stop here in a few laps.
At about lap 69, 70 at the most, we're going to see these guys come down?
Well, we really don't know if these guys was running the tank dry either. They could still have 2 or 3 laps in the tank to go. And if you did, this is the time to use it.
There's already discussion out there on the radio about, hey, how many laps you got left? Hey, even between teams. So, teams communicating with each other on the common radio band out there, saying, hey, you call it up there. Talking to the drivers up in front of these packs.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the benefits to running in a chase pack is you're going to be able to find out what the leaders do a little bit before you have to make that decision call. As you can see, this chase pack is starting to, or the lead pack is starting to catch up to one of these chase packs. But I know someone who is extremely probably low on that fuel side. That's that 92 of Greg Klein. Basically, this entire fuel run, he's been out in front leading that lead group.
Yeah, he hasn't had a chance to save this run.
Been out there with a wide open throttle. There's the 4. The 4 did get back out on the track after a fast repair, I'm sure.
We had somebody miss pit road through the grass.
Oh, Andrew Coffin.
In front of the leader.
Yep, he's able to hold it and get back onto pit road, but I got a feeling that's going to be a penalty for the number 10.
Russ Endicott got a black flag when he came down. I don't see anything. The 10 has not been posted yet.
So let's go ahead and take a look back to see what exactly happened with Cawthon. Just maybe trying to brake a little too late to come on down into pit road here, working with that 57 of Russ Endicott, and it just kind of kept on driving.
Albert Anderson pleading with the race controller said, hey, I see grass all over the track at the tri-oval. There's a lot of debris up on the track. Trying to get him a yellow flag.
Take a driver through a water bottle out there.
Or a piece of the roll bar foam or something.
Yep.
Yeah, begging and pleading, but there's no styrofoam cups here in simulation land as these guys continue to green flag race here, approaching lap 68 out of 94. Yeah, that first chase pack of Keel, Reilly, Dixon, Wittenberg, Paul, and Paul, they really haven't made up too much time, even though this time they had more cars than that lead group, as here comes Adamson and Mayberry down into pit road. Same thing with that 13 of Earl Evans. And it looks like here comes some of those Vigilante Force guys, the 01 and the 37 coming on down. They're going to come on down with the think that's the 57 of Russ Endicott who's going to serve that penalty.
Ooh. Dustin really had him locked up for eternity there. Able to scrub off all that speed though. That was a smoke show.
So
How much longer do you think them leaders are going to stay out?
Not more than one lap. I really don't think they can make it longer than a lap. I think that's why they're all still single file on the inside here.
Greg goes
Man,
by pit road.
I don't know. He just drove past it.
So I think
Wow.
think you might be right here, Kewins. I think they might have not necessarily short pit, but they weren't running them dry the last time they were coming down pit road. So I think they're trying to get every single last drop out of those cars here for this final pit stop to try to make it to the end. But I mean, even still, it's gonna be close here. I think at best, if they come on in here and either this lap or the next one, it's still, you're only like half a lap to the good.
They just come on the radio. They're coming this time. 92, 33, probably dragging a bunch of traffic with them.
This is a money stop, no mistakes.
Money stop as, they are the only two to come on down into pit road. Timothy Pope staying out with his teammates out there. So here we go. Talk about a chess game inside of a chess game. Greg Klein and Jess Vaught all coming on down. Same thing with that chase pack. They did wait that one extra lap last round of pit stops. So the Cult of Chaos team members out there running at least one more lap.
So lap 70. That'll make it 24 laps, which should be doable.
Yes, I think.
Now, if they get a green-white checker, it's out the window.
Oh,
As we said,
I got a feeling if a caution comes out after everybody hits these pit stops, everybody's coming on down to top up on fuel. Anderson
Timothy
and Burke
Pope
coming on down, and Timothy Pope, staying on
He's
out.
staying out. Yep.
Man,
he must have saved a bunch.
he still has some help there with the 82 of Everidge, and he's catching up to some traffic here, which is going to aid him for at least this lap. But you got to imagine that 728 of Pope, he's got to be thinking about coming down. Well, he has to come down.
He's got to be on fumes.
Yeah, they must have been right there, and he wanted to stretch that extra lap to make sure he was good to make it.
Well,
Heard that right there, Kewins. He's coming this time.
Well, it's the same thing with Dixon and the rest of the Cult of Chaos guys. They stayed out for that one extra lap. Let's see if they decide to come on down this time.
I believe they may have to.
And here they come, making that big dive down pit road. It looks like the Ford Dion Jones might be joining them here just to try to keep up and maybe help that team out. Little outside team help action going on as people making that dive down onto pit road here, and we're keeping that eye on black flags.
The three of Austin Paul, it's a good thing he had a car in front of him because it kind of helped him slow down coming into the pits there.
And Timothy Pope leaving the pits all on his lonesome. He's going to have to try to get up to speed really quick here as Jess Vaught and Greg Klein are still grouped up together here. Jess Vaught did leapfrog, and they've got some cars around them to kind of help out. They're trying to get around that team of Burke and Anderson. So we've got 2x2 racing here as here comes Pope back out onto the track. I think he's going to be just in time to maintain into one of those lead spots.
They'll at least be able to hang on to that lead pack right there.
Burke and Anderson trying their best to get out in front of the 33 to get their lap back here. Oh, man, what a battle.
Three wide. 3 wide racing through the tri-oval here at Talladega. Looks like Timothy Pope maybe just going to save a little bit more of that fuel here. Once again, he's going to tuck back in the line. Oh, he's lost the draft. He is running super slow right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
He's finally getting some help. He's got that 51 machine helping him out. Mike Adamson, one of his teammates here. Adamson trying to get one of those lap backs. Same thing with that 29, Dave Hot Rod Mayberry trying to get one of those laps back. So Just Fought finally getting some Vigilante Force help up here in this front group.
Adamson had a heck of a run, just set the fastest lap of the race, a 50.04.
Ooh, it's cooking.
As the 10, Andrew Cawthon comes on down into pit lane here again, I think. Or no, he just went down onto the apron.
He went to the apron.
Ooh, he's got to be careful here. He's going to lose the draft here again. And Timothy Pope, I mean, he's got the draft. He's just really taking his time getting group back on up here.
Remember him saving that fuel earlier? He's trying to do it again because you never know what's going to happen at the end of these Talladega races. Maybe he's eyeballing green-white checker, maybe staying out if the rest of these guys have to pit in. The Yahtzee strategy.
Hey, you ain't kidding. Well, while we are here with 21 laps to go for this race, for this season, we thank you all for tuning in and watching each and every single one of these races. Be sure to keep those comments coming because we still need to pick a qualifier for that Fan of the Season award that will be drawn for here at the end of this one. So you still got 20 laps before we have to make that call. So keep those comments coming, people.
What do the people win?
I think they're winning some hard cash money.
Oh. I need to start commenting and be fan of the race.
Well, I think because you're currently working for us right now, you're not eligible. But
yes, I'm just playing.
But next season.
There we go. Yeah.
That goes for just about every league that we do broadcast here. We have fans of the race just about everywhere. Each one getting involved with some sort of drawing for either merchandise, or there's even one giving away a very fancy keyboard that's RGB lit and just a really nice keyboard. As the 7 of Kilgore trying to get some lap back action going on here, jumping out in front of Jess Vaught. But right now, it looks like Jeff Ottinger in that 76 machine. It's got that lucky dog spot. Oh, now it goes to Mike Adams. So we got a pretty interesting race inside of a race going on here. So we got the fuel strategy runs going. We got a race for lucky dog positions, and we got a race for the win.
Yeah, I mean, getting that lucky dog, that could, realistically, I mean, you could get the lucky dog here with 10 to go and still win the race.
Well, absolutely. As we had 22 cars take to the grid here tonight, and as of right now, we still have 22 cars out there running. We do have Mike Everidge back down there on pit road, though. I don't know if that was for a penalty or not, but Mike Everidge coming on down into the pits.
It doesn't look like
Bob and Weave in the 7
wrong.
goes up into the outside wall. We're going to be 3 wide here in this main group. Everything going all helter-skelter. I think cars maybe just got a little loose inside that draft. These guys not quite back to comfortable racing 2 wide and having all that air go around them, as they've been kind of in these smaller kind of single file packs.
7 tried to jump down and rejoin. He thought he found a hole there, but the 29 was coming up really quick. Dave Mayberry hard on the binders to try to avoid him.
I mean, we're starting to see that aggression ramp up here with these lucky dog drivers racing. And then we still have a race for the lead right in the middle of them.
This is incredible. I haven't seen this happen at one of our races in a long, long time, where you got 2 guys in the front of the lead pack that are trying to get a lap back here, or trying to stay on the lead lap. My goodness.
So you can see there that 7 of Russ Kilgore apparently damaged not too bad, as he's able to keep up with the draft here. He's now going to suck up to the back end of the 76 of Jeff Ottinger as they continue to put a laps down here from Talladega, heading down through this tri-oval one more time. Now going on to 16 laps left to go.
Well, as you said it, Mr. Kewins, towards the end here, we always see the aggression start ramping up, and we're almost to that window now, I think, with 15-ish to go. I think we're going to start to see it.
Yeah, we got 3 lead lap cars in this, or the top 3 in that pack right there, and they're going to start mixing it up with each other here soon. Get themselves in position for the end of this race.
And Pope being very, very cautious here. He's just hanging a good chunk off the back. Maybe seeing all this bobbing and weaving happening in front of him, being like, I just don't want to be caught up in this one. As that kind of mix of lead lap and lap down traffic makes their way on around here. We still got the 01 of Kelly Keel and the 37 Dustin Reilly. They've been working well together here tonight. They're back here in 4th and 5th. They do have, I think that's the 82 of Everidge out there kind of behind them, helping them on out. But with only 3 cars, you'd think that the 4-car team of the Cult of Chaos, as Chad McCabe goes for a wild ride. Oh, he's having issues trying to get that car back straight. Oh, as he's... Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Golly.
That was almost a caution there.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, couple cars involved in that one. The 57, the 11, and the 4. Good
Some
gracious.
people need some new change of drawers out there right now. I guarantee you, after all these cars went flying past all that.
You ain't kidding. So what happened here? The 11 was kind of down right in that yellow line. The 4 thought he was clear, but he wasn't, as the 11 kept drifting up into the track. Ended up snagging into that 57. The 57's able to keep it, for the most part, pretty straight. The 4 gets sent up out to the outside wall, keeping it pretty straight. And the 11 goes for that wild ride in the inside grass.
Can you imagine if that would have happened in front of this big giant lead pack? Oh man, they're kind of lucky it happened where it did.
Once again, we get that just little whiff of a caution, but no, it's still out there. Oh, here we go. The 7's getting snagged up with the 29. He's going for a ride in the grass.
Kilgore in the 7. Him and the 33 got together there. Kilgore just held that left, held the wheel to the left there.
Racing for the lucky dog.
Oh, yep, beating and banging the 7 and the 33 make contact. 33 being in that race for the win here tonight. He's got to be careful here. He does have that 29 of Hot Rod Mayberry. I misspoke there. It was the 33 of Vaught involved. But he's got to be careful because he's got to stay onto this lead group. Otherwise, he's going to run into some issues trying to catch on back up.
I'm not seeing a whole lot of damage there to the 33 machine. So he's got another teammate behind him. He can get a good push and make another run at this.
And just like that, he is back up to speed and back in it with a chance to win it here with that help from that 29 of Hot Rod Mayberry. 33 car, yeah, he's looking okay there. Not too much damage. Making a good run up here, coming up the inside of that 10 machine of Andrew Cawthon. But, man, I think this is starting to turn into like an endurance race kind of thing where people are just starting to make little mistakes and it's starting to add up.
Yeah, well, it's very mentally draining when you're running at the front of these packs. And the 7, he was wanting to get up there to race for the lucky dog, or get around the leader to be back on the lead lap. It's just aggression and maybe a little fatigue coming out.
Justin Eaton out there on YouTube saying, "Great driving out there, y'all. Go get it." Albert Anderson's pop joining us saying, "Just getting home. Go get him, Albert." Love it when our fans chime in over there on the YouTube. Thank y'all for sticking with us all season.
And that they are, as the race leader, Greg Klein, very, very smartly sitting behind some lap traffic here as Albert Anderson kind of leads this lead group around. He's on that lead lap, but he's trying to stay out in front of Greg Klein and all the rest of these guys so he doesn't have to fight Dave Hot Rod Mayberry for that lucky dog spot, just as we're coming up.
Well, I was just saying, Klein's got that buffer car behind him, too. Tony Pope is a lap down. And he's got him in between himself and Timothy Pope in that 728, who'd love to get another win tonight.
Yeah, that buffer car, that could make all the difference coming down to the end of this.
Well, not to mention, but look at the gap that he's leaving between Jeremiah Burke and himself. You can tell he is definitely just being easy on that throttle, keeping it right around that 75% mark, getting the runs when he can to keep that gap close, but not wasting any more fuel than he has to.
Edith Anderson asking us on YouTube, how do y'all have two Vaughts racing out there? Lori Vaught is our race controller. Jess Vaught is a driver. Lori joins as a driver. I'm not sure that she's able to do race control unless she's registered as a driver. I'm not really sure how that works. But that's why you see two Vaughts out there on the scoring pylon.
Yeah, Lori with the best IPL in the league with a 0.0. And that's the incidents per lap. So, Lori, your cleanest member here over at Vigilante Racing League, as they're coming up on some more lap traffic here. Looks like that lap traffic's going to stay out to that outside line, the 57 and the 4, Dion Jones and Russ Endicott.
I think these leaders are they're just kind of waiting. Let these laps run out here. Get down to 4 or 5 to go, and I think you're going to start seeing Pope and Vaught make a run at Greg.
Yeah, that's the other thing to watch out for here, is Pope and Vaught are nose to tail. Really, Greg Klein he's in a great spot, but he does have to be careful here because of that lap car being in between him and the people he's racing for the win. That could go to a disadvantage for him, as he may not be able to see a move coming. And talk about having a run. I'm watching some time here from Jess Vaught back down to where Kelly Keel and Dustin really are. They're eating up some of this time. They're closing that gap pretty good. They might just make it here to that final few laps to catch back up, and they might have a chance to get back in this thing.
Anything can happen at these pack racing tracks. And we've seen it happen before. Guys flying up through the field, driving up the middle. We've seen just about everything here.
Well, I mean, they're close enough that if them leaders get in trouble on that white flag lap 2 in the tri-oval, they could sneak by and steal this from them.
Yes, sir.
You can see the lap differential from Vaught to Keel. They're running dang near a full second plus, a second and a half faster than these guys, as they are going to start flying up on these guys. That gap was 4 seconds when they last crossed the line. They're going to come back across the line, and it's going to be dang near 2.
They're gonna. You can physically see they're catching them now.
So
the tension's building, boys. It's getting good.
So talk about never dying. You got Vigilante force of Kelly Keel and Dustin Reilly. Kelly Keel getting the first win this season at Daytona, looking to try to add to that trophy list and get one here from Talladega as they rejoin this main lead pack up here at the front. We're going to have 5 drivers in it with a chance to win it as we're coming up to the final 5 laps of this race.
Remember that thing we talked about, that aggression getting ramped up?
It's
5
coming.
to go. It's going to get even higher. Look at Everidge.
Look,
Holy
Kelly Keel
shit.
coming down pit road. They must not have been able to make it. Oh, and he hits the commitment cone.
Hot Rod Mayberry coming on down with Keel and really maybe running a little too much pace there.
Yeah.
And just like that. Oh, as we're going to have a caution here. It's a 2. Big wreck. Man, talk about everything getting thrown out the window, and a great call from Keel, really.
Burke. Yeah, Burke and Anderson both went around there. Didn't see what happened because I was watching pit road. Andrew Coffey got a black flag. But, yeah, watch the 2 and the 1053.
I bet you
Oh,
that 92 car was scared there. He barely squeaked it through.
Oh man, that was close for him.
Man, we're gonna have to take a look at this one, as this changes everything. Got the 82 and the 57. They get knotted up. That's, oh my goodness. The 57 just drifting down as the 82 was trying to drift down. I don't think both drivers realized how clear they were. Oh my goodness. Talk about butt clenching.
I think the speed difference there between the two cars was huge. The 11 and the 82 they had a run on the outside and just caught that 57 a little too fast, I think.
They were hauling butt, and they didn't really have anywhere to go. They didn't want to lose all their momentum by slamming on the brakes, so they were just trying to find a hole to get into.
Oh my goodness. So
what do you do? Are we going to see everybody pit? We're going to see some
Yeah.
guys saving some extra gas, staying out, because this isn't going to be a green-white checker. So, I mean, some guys are going to have enough fuel to get to the end.
no, this is going to be a green-white checker.
That's not what I'm seeing on my screen.
There are 4 laps to go now. I mean, even at the earliest,
It won't be an official.
it may not be an official one, but we're going to have green-white checker finish here for the championship race over here at the Vigilante Racing League from Talladega.
Y'all know how many attempts we have? It's just one, isn't it?
I think when it gets to the official, it's just one. Greg Klein staying out, not coming down into pit lane. Timothy Pope comes down pit lane. Same thing with Jess Vaught. So Greg Klein,
Wow, really?
he might have.
He must feel he's confident enough that he saved enough gas.
Yep.
That's what I would do.
Adamson coming down, Ottinger coming down, Burke coming down, Anderson coming down, getting some damage fixed. Man, oh man, I wasn't even able, because of how many lap cars were getting caught up in that. I don't know who got the lucky dog.
Well, we are going to have some wave rounds anyway. Let's see.
The 7, maybe?
It might be the 7. I think you're right, as he gets waved around the pace car. So Russ Kilgore gets his lap back here. But as well as talk about lucky timing here. The 01 of Kelly Keel, the 37 of Dustin Really. Unfortunately for Hot Rod Mayberry, he wasn't able to get that lucky dog spot. But man, they got lucky and not ended up involved in that.
Yeah.
Coming down pit lane.
Right before that caution came out, Albert Anderson said, Albert Anderson on the track, his dad, Albert Anderson Jr., said, what is it going to take to get a caution here? And I just wrote, that, LOL. Because it happened right after.
So here we go. This is going to be the lineup for this next restart. Greg Klein on the inside, up 16 spots. 72 of Chan the Man, Chandler Paul on that outside. 3 of Austin Paul on the inside in third. 55, Ricky Wittenberg up there in fourth. Jack Dixon, he's ripping it up there in the top 5. Timothy Pope up there in the top 6. Jess Vaught hanging around there in 7th after that last round of pit stops. Kelly Keel and Dustin Really, as well as Russ Kilgore, all inside of this top 10.
They all have a shot at it.
I'm with you guys. I think Greg Klein made the right call. You know, he knew he was good on fuel. At least for this unofficial green-white checker that we're going to have. If it goes caution again, he might be in trouble on gas, but it looks like he's shutting his engine off and refiring it. I see him kind of.
I'm sure he's
surging
saving
there.
everything he can right now.
But yeah, I'd do that, you know, every day of the week, twice on Sunday. Don't give up all that track position. You just can't do that. He's got some teammates though right here. Look at these guys. Cult of Chaos sharing the front row with Klein, and then they've got the next 3 positions. So, wow.
Cult of Chaos coming out strong in this final race, and you know what? This is going to be our one and only official attempt at a green-white checker, Mr. English. So, I think Greg...
Okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
I think the caution laps just ran into the final time just a little too much. So here we go, green, white, checkered finish to finish off the season. And man, there's no better way to do it. As these guys get all grouped back up, it's going to be one giant pack of lead lap cars, lap down cars, everybody fighting for whatever position that they can. We still have all 22 drivers here driving around here in Talladega, and man, they are hungry, especially those Cult of Chaos guys. They've been trying to get a good finish here this season, and they finally have a pretty locked-in top 5 here, where they're going to be working together to try to get something here for that team.
Kewins, I know your guy is up there right now on the inside in the front row. My guy's on the outside there, row 2. I'd rather be right there on a green-white checker restart at Talladega. I think 55 of Ricky Wittenberg is in a better spot right now than the 92 of Klein. And I say that because we've seen some crazy wrecks and stuff happen at Talladega, and that's usually who's involved.
It's the leader, yep. He can't get too good a restart and be a sitting duck out there, especially with these teammates behind him willing to work with, willing to just not work with him and go around him.
And for the final time this season, it is time to buckle up, strap on that drinking helmet, and throw inhibition out the window. Green, white, checker racing here for the final race of the Vigilante Racing League season as they go side by side, down and across the line, still side by side, beating and banging, shuffling and jiving as they try to make their way down into turns 1 and 2. Greg Klein, Chandler Paul, still even Steven. 3 of Austin Paul pushing that 92 of Greg Klein as much as he can with the 48 of Jack the Ripper Dixon doing the same behind him. You got the 55 of Ricky Wittenberg with the 01 of Kelly Keel coming up here on the outside. It's going to go 3 wide. 55 is going to go on out to the outside line. Well, outside line out by the wall as well. 72 getting loose in the middle.
Oh man, here it is. Everybody's stacking up.
The 55 on the outside. Nope, he's losing his run right.
Oh, the 72 gets turned by the 55. Oh man. Oh, caution's not gonna wave. We're gonna have 5 cars here with a chance.
Ricky!
Oh, Ricky getting into the rear corner panel of the 92. Here comes Austin Paul on the outside as we're white flag here. We got Timothy Pope pushing that 3 of Austin Paul, the 48 Jack the Ripper Dixon trying to get the run to get around the 92, trying to pinch him on down. Not gonna quite get there as the 3 and the 728 try to drive away from the rest of these guys.
Watch this 92. He's going to get a huge run down this backstretch into 3 and 4.
Peeking to the outside, getting as much side draft as he can. He might have a little help from that 48 of Jack the Ripper Dixon. He's not up on him, though, so he's all by himself. Here comes Ricky Wittenberg from out of nowhere with a full head of steam as the 3 of Austin Paul with the 728 of Timothy Pope pushing him here down across the line, nose to nose, tail to tail, across the line for the Cult of Chaos. Austin Paul picking up the win here in the final race with Timothy Pope in second and Jack the Ripper Dixon in third. Well, cock-a-doodle-doo, how do you do, Cult of Chaos?
Man, it's been a long time coming for them guys. I'm glad to see Austin Paul get that win, take that 3 machine to victory lane.
That 728 machine, he pushed him to the front. He didn't leave that 3's bumper.
He did not. Let's take a quick look at that kind of wreck that happened coming out of 3 and 4. Oh, the 55, it looked like he almost got loose. I think he might have got a little too much of a push on that outside line by the 01. No, he just comes straight on down and takes out his teammate and pretty much the rest of the field. Good night.
It's that time where you have to be aggressive. Do you want to win the race or do you want to run 6? You know.
That's right.
Ooh, Lord.
Congratulations to Shelba Boone for being our fan of the race tonight. Thank you so much, Shelba Boone. You're entered into the drawing, which we're going to do here in just a few minutes to determine who's going to win our fan of the race prize for this season.
Oh, thanks for reminding me. I forgot about that. Whew.
I got you covered, man.
All right, so first we got to do our random draw driver of the day. So here we go, 2 and 3. 4th place finisher of Greg Klein. He's going to be your lucky random draw driver of the day. And now we need to draw for the fan of the season. And how many entries do we have for that one there, Mr. English?
15.
With 15 winners. We'll do the same thing. I'll click generate 3 times, and that will be the fan of the season. 1, 2, and 3. It's going to be number 1.
Number 1 is Edith Anderson. Edith Anderson, congratulations. You are our fan of the season. So, yeah, you've got a gift card or something waiting on you. I think that's what they're doing this time.
And you know what? I couldn't imagine a better fan that could possibly go to, as Edith has been with us pretty much all season long.
And her questions and stuff, you know, it's just so cool to see people that interested in it. And they're like, well, what about this? What about? I love it when people ask questions about what's going on out there on the track. And Edith is always very engaged and definitely deserving of our fan of the season. Looks like Cult of Chaos team member and brother, Chandler Paul, pushing the number 3 track out there. Austin Paul. Great win. I wish I could see what that sponsor was on that 3 machine. It's a new sponsor this week.
I'm trying to see it myself. Which part of the car?
On the hood there.
Can't
quite read it. Customs by KP.
I believe that's what it is. That 3 Customs by KP, running that kind of lavenderish kind of style paint job, and I think
it's pink.
It's
pink.
Either way, that 3 machine has found its way on to victory lane here tonight, and as people are slowly jumping up into that waiting room, let's go ahead and start to talk to some of these people. Like the 2nd place finisher here tonight, that's going to be the 728 of Timothy Pope, coming here with a strong 2nd place. Tim, man, this one looked like it was going to be a 3-dog fight. Comes down to a green-white checker, and you make it through the chaos to finish here in 2nd. Talk about a great finale race, but not only that, but you had a great season here as well, finishing up inside that top 4 or 5 here for that driver championship.
Yeah, I think they said I finished 2nd.
Oh, did I say 3rd?
Said top 4 or 5.
He did finish 2nd.
Oh,
I think
there you go.
Going over and telling me about it. Said I finished 2nd due to a tiebreaker or something.
Oh, there you go. Still, so a 2nd place tonight and a 2nd place for the driver championship. That's still pretty dang good, Tim.
Yeah, it is.
Well, what are you looking forward to next season? I know we're going back to the trucks. You've got a lot of experience with that already. Are you changing teams? Everything kind of staying the same? What you guys' plan for next season?
Plan on staying the same team. We're just going to lose Greg because his work schedule. He can't race with us next season.
Well, that's a definite big-time shame, because talk about a heck of a season for the team. Team Limitless coming home for that team championship as well. So we got to congratulate you guys for having a heck of a season. I mean, pretty much each and every single week, you guys had at least 2 or 3 guys finishing in either inside the podium or at least the top 5.
Yeah, everybody did real good this year.
Well, Tim, that's going to have to put up this one for this season. Before we let you go, you got any shout-outs or anything like that?
Yep, Team Lemon. Congratulations to them and everybody how good they did this year. Win the team championship. You guys, you do a good job in broadcasting. Vigilante putting the races on.
Awesome, Tim.
Thanks, brother.
Again, congrats on the second place here and in the driver championship, and we look forward to seeing you back here next season.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll head on down. Here, give me 1 second to change that. We're gonna head down to tonight's third place finisher, and one of the best finishes for him here this season is the 48 of Jack the Ripper Dixon, tearing it up here at Talladega. And man, that was a wild finish. And not only that, but you finally got that Cult of Chaos team all up there around that kind of top 5.
Yeah, it's been a tough season for me, and I know my team hasn't had the best of lucks, but when we all work together and stuff doesn't happen too bad, we pull through, and Austin deserves that win. So it was great for KOK Racing, and just too bad that Ricky and Chandler got wrecked at the end.
I was really pulling for Ricky. I thought maybe he had, he's restarted in a really good spot outside row 2 on a restart at Talladega is pretty much where I want to be, because we've seen so much stuff happen to that inside line there as everybody comes towards the finish line. So give us a little insight on next season. Y'all gonna stick together? Cult of Chaos are gonna stick together and keep the same team, and also look back as well. What are some of your favorite moments, some of your favorite tracks and stuff this season?
Oh, next season's a little classified as of right now. We've got a powerhouse coming, so there's more to come. But this season's been great. Haven't been to too many because of the real life racing, but Jess and Lori do such a great job putting this together. The dedication, the three of you guys up here in the booth. Oh man, it seems so realistic. Like, love showing up and watching the broadcast. Even while I race, I look over. And, I'll be back next season for sure, but there's a big surprise coming. Just wait.
Man, we cannot wait for that surprise here, Jack. But thankfully, not running over any of those bumpers or fenders here tonight to pick up that third place final podium spot. Before I let you go, you got any shout outs or anything like that?
Oh, I gotta shout out to you three, Lori, Jess, but most importantly, I gotta thank my team. The four of us all stick together the whole season, and there's a reason we came home with a win tonight. It's the hard work and dedication. Even though we may not put in the amount of practice everybody else does, the dedication's there.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the third place finish here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you again next season.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, so now let's go and we got a lot of people to talk to tonight.
Good.
Let's talk to the random draw winner, and that's going to be the 92 of Greg Klein. And Greg, I know you had your hands full just about all race long up there at the front, but it looked like for a while it was only going to be about a 3-dog fight, but then a final green-white checker comes out. And boy, oh boy, did the final race live up to its expectations.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. There towards the end, I was getting real tight on fuel, and we were actually trying to save quite a bit. I think I had enough saved. We were getting ready for that final push, and then the caution came out, which made the fuel kind of a moot point.
Yeah, it showed. We could tell that y'all were kind of working the fuel game. In fact, I think you were kind of shutting ignition off during that last caution. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
It looked like I see that you kind of catch back up and then you cut it off.
Yeah, there was a lot of idle time there. No ignition on. Just save as much fuel as I could because I know it was going to be real tight.
Well, Kewins, you want to ask the man a question? Alan Kewins, our guest in the booth tonight, did pick you to win the race tonight. We did a little bit of race picking, and he kind of went with one of the obvious choices. That's kind of why he picked you.
No, I just want to ask what was going through your mind when that caution came out. Was you pretty disappointed?
I honestly no, because I knew it was so close on fuel that was going to put me over the edge what I needed to save. So I wasn't too upset about that one. The problem was all my teammates kind of got shuffled to the back, so I really didn't have the help I needed to go ahead and push myself up for the win. But it was still a great race. I seemed to average about a 4th place finish, so I'm right on my average. And man, I'm ready to see what we do next year.
Yeah, looking ahead to next season, man. Going back to the trucks, going to have stage racing. Are you looking forward to that? Because I think that's going to mix things up quite a bit here.
I think it's going to be good. These long green flag runs are kind of great, but it's sometimes good to get a little bit of break. Change your pit strategies a little bit, add a little bit of that to it. I think it'll be good for us. I haven't run the trucks in a while, so I'll get some practice in. But I think it's going to be a great season. I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome, man. Well, before we let you go, got any final shout-outs?
Shout out to you guys, to Jess and Lori for putting on the league, the sponsors, everybody that helps put this thing together. I started halfway through the season. I've had a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to next season.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations here, Greg, on a 4th place and random draw driver finish here tonight. We look forward to seeing you again next season, buddy.
Yeah, me too. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. So with that, we now head on up to the man of tonight's hour, the 3 of Austin Paul, bringing that Cult of Chaos number 3 machine home across the line in first. Austin, this has been a long time coming for you and your team. This must be just absolutely ecstatic for you guys.
I just want to say, what's up, boys? We're here in Victory Lane.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Cult of Chaos, it's been a long time coming for you guys. You finally put that 3 machine in there tonight. That Camaro with Customs by KP all over it. Talk about this win.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out. It's my wife's company. She makes custom Funko Pops. She made ones for like Noah Gregson and stuff. Gave it to him at the track in Nashville. He keeps it on his desk at home. She makes custom cookies, everything like that. Anything you name it, she makes it. But no, yeah, it's fun race. We were kind of getting spread out after that first pit stop. But we tried to stay all together, and then when we got to that last pit stop, we were like, all right, we might have enough, but we're so far back. But we got to hope, just like Jess and Tim didn't have enough. So we were playing take turns as being the leader to try to save, and then that caution came out. We were debating on if we needed to go in or not. We're just like, at this point, we should just stay out, because if there's another green and white checker, then we have to go in, or we're probably wrecked anyways. So we stuck it out. A couple of the KOK guys got out right there. But then I was able to hold the wheel, and luckily Tim was very generous to me, and he was trying to make a move, but there was not enough room for him up top, so he was generous enough to push me towards the win there.
Man, especially for the final race of a season, could you think of a better way for it to end, but with a green-white checker finish? I mean, especially here at Talladega, and like everything getting all grouped back up. And I mean, like you said, you guys as a team did a great job sticking together, doing all your pit stops together and everything. And that definitely seemed to have made the big difference here.
Yeah, it really did. And I'm glad we had people to help too along the way, like other drivers that was in there with us. But yeah, it's things. What a better way to finish the season off at Talladega, doing a green-white checkered. What a better way for me. I just my child turned 1 month old today, so that's why I haven't been on here racing as much, but finally was able to get back on and race this week, and what a way to end it on a win.
Mate, 1 month old.
Congrats on being a new papa, man. That's a big deal.
Yeah, appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
So they're going to be old enough to race next season, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I'll go ahead and get him.
Start him young.
Oh, for sure. That's why his name's Dalen. It starts with Dale with an N, so.
Oh man, that's gonna be awesome. Well, man, we'll let you go here for this season, but before we do that, got any other final shout outs you want to get out there?
For sure, my wife and my son, get KOK, Cock with Ricky, Jack, Chandler, all the season, everyone in VRL. It's been a lot of fun. Ready for next season, which is in a couple weeks. Nice to also have a bunch of new recruits coming in for next year, and stage racing I think will be interesting too, to kind of get everybody up to see racing like that, like we did at the end. So yeah, and want to thank you all too for putting on the broadcast and showing us off.
Awesome, Austin. Well, we thank you for your time here, and again, congratulations on the win here, and we look forward to seeing you here next season.
For sure, and always 10-4 rubber ducky.
I love that sign off, man. That's a great sign off.
Little convoy reference.
Well, we have one more interview to do, and that's going to be the man of the season. And no surprise, it's the 33 of Jess Vaught, this Vigilante season champion. Jess, you did a heck of a job. You had to fight through some technical issues on a couple races. Only a couple races did you have not the best of finishes, but man, that just goes to show how consistent you were here this season with an average finish of like third.
Yeah, man, I can't. It's like a Goldilocks season for me. I had that bad luck. I think it was at WeatherTech or something that I couldn't get on the track. So there was my mulligan. But the rest of the season probably couldn't have felt much better. I mean, maybe another win. I actually left a couple wins on the table there. The Daytona Road Course, I left that one on the table, and there's another one I know I left on the table as well. So it could have went a little bit better, but honestly, with this stout of a field and the way these guys drive, I'm proud to be able to come home. And I don't even know if I'll ever see this again in my own league of getting the championship. When you look at the list of folks in here, and then you look at the talent that we're bringing in for next season, it'll be a tough road to ever get back to this point. So I'm going to savor it, man.
Well, anytime you can finish top 5, top 8 in a race in VRL, you know you're accomplishing something. There's so much talent in this field that that's an accomplishment in and of itself. But when your average finishing position is third, great things are going to happen for you. And it's just, keeping your nose to the grindstone, being consistent, like Alan said, the other Alan, the 2L Alan. Good things are going to happen for you. There's a little bit of a format change next season. Is that going to, when guys get that early win, is it going to be kind of a win and you're in type deal with the playoffs?
Yeah, so that's the deal. So if you win a race, you're in, and then we're going to take the top 12 after top 12 in points, winners plus the top 12 beyond that in points at the end of our 12th race of the season, and they're going to be the playoff drivers. And what will happen is we'll reset those top 12 drivers to a point total of about 2,000 to make them break out on the regular points. And then it's just 3 races. That's it. We go the top 12 going in that first race.
Oh, wow.
The bottom 4 of that 12 are eliminated. How they finish. Then we go into the next race. The bottom 4 of that 8 are eliminated. And then we go into the championship 4, and whoever can beat the others to the finish line in whatever order they're in wins the championship.
Man, that's going to make for a exciting show here coming up next season. And like you said, Jess, just this absolute great field of drivers that you and the rest of the admin team all recruit in here. And things are just getting larger and larger as they go along. This is our 3rd season over here now, and we've had 3 different season champions. And like you said, we got so much talent over here, man.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, you look, my average finish this season's 3rd. It took finishing 3rd on average to win the championship in this league. That's insane.
Yeah, that it is. Well, while we wind things down here from this season, Jess, got any final shout-outs here before we let you go?
Yeah, I couldn't give a bigger shout out, and I know I do it all the time, but my wife, Lori, man, she runs this league. I don't run anything. I come in here and I race. She's sitting here during the day taking care of everybody as far as, they're getting registered, getting ready for these races and the different platforms that we're on, so she does an incredible job, and I just want a huge thanks to her. And then to my team, Vigilante Force. Hopefully we're going to have a better team season next time and see if we have a better show in there. Limitless just ran away with it this time, so congratulations to them as well. And then thanks to you guys, man, putting on a great broadcast for us constantly. You always try to evolve and get better with us. I think we kind of went on this journey together in a way, and so I appreciate
Absolutely.
you guys. So it's been a great ride, and I'm really looking forward to you guys coming back for the next season.
Well, September 28th can't come soon enough. But until then, Jess, congratulations again, driver season champion, and we can't wait to see it.
You bet, guys. Thank you very much, and take care.
Whew. That was a lot of names to get through, but man, we had to talk to each and every single one of them as we had a great finale here from Talladega. And Alan, whew, just whew.
You got it, Alan.
Yeah.
You got it, Alan. Yeah.
Good job, Alan.
It was a great season, man. This is one of those. I look forward to Wednesday nights because, you're going to have a lot of green flag laps. It's going to be a lot of great racing. As we mentioned over and over, there's a lot of talent out here, and it's always very, very competitive. I mean, competitive to the point where, sometimes it gets a little salty, but that's something that we all like too. You got to have a little bit of drama in there to make it interesting. But yeah, what a way to end the season! And congrats to Austin Paul, man, in that 3 machine, getting that win for KOK, and just real happy for him. Timothy Pope, of course, finishing in second. He's the guy to beat every week. So to see him finish up there in seconds, no surprise. Jack Dixon, what a great finish for Jack the Ripper, our Canadian buddy up there, finishing in third in that 48 machine. And Ricky Wittenberg, let's be honest, Ricky's had a lot of downtime here lately with broken equipment and stuff like that. I love seeing Ricky, one of the pillars of this league, and one of the best sponsors a league can have. Ricky Wittenberg finishing in that 5th place. I love seeing that.
Yeah, absolutely. As I thought you were taking my job there, starting to run down the final finishing order this season. Man. Oh man,
I'm getting sentimental. It's at the end, so I'm getting sentimental.
Hey,
sorry about that.
Keep those tissues nearby, my friend. As yes, the 3 of Austin Paul moves up 13 spots here tonight to pick up the win. Good job, Austin. Same thing with that 728 Timothy Pope, making moves and making decisions to finish here in second. Jack the Ripper Dixon driving his 48 machine to a solid podium 3rd place finish here tonight, having a good night as well. 92 Greg Klein, random draw driver of the day, up 13 spots as well. He's going to be finishing here in 4th. Like you said, the 55, Ricky Wittenberg's going to finish here with a top 5 5th place finish. The 37 of Dustin Reilly and the 01 of Kelly Keel. Talk about fighting and never dying. They end up in 6th and 7th respectively, so great job from those guys. 7 of Russ Kilgore, talking about fighting on back, up 14 spots, getting that lead lap back, ends up here in 8th. Good job there, Russ. 33 of Jess Fought getting involved in that final carnage here as they were taken to that white flag. Is going to finish here in 9th, but nonetheless your season champion. So congratulations there, Jess. As the 72 of Chandler Paul, he as well was kind of knotted up in some of that wreck here on that final lap, but still finished with a solid top 10 finish.
America's driver, the 2 of Albert Anderson, started on the pole tonight. Looked very promising. It ran really strong. Ended up going, I think that was a penalty that he did get that ended up putting him a lap down. But, oh, man, try as he might, he tried to stay on that lead lap, leading all the lead lap cars as a lap car. Did everything he could tonight. Still finished in 11th place. 753 of Jeremiah Burke in that Pennzoil machine. Down a couple spots, he'll finish in 12th. 13th will be the 51 of Mike Adamson. Mike Everidge, man, what a run him and the 11 of Chad McCabe have right there towards the end. Just didn't have any place to go, but man, what a run by him. He'll finish in 14th place. 15th will be Dave the Mouth Mayberry. Well, Dave Hot Rod Mayberry. We don't want to use the mouth all the time. But the driver of the 29 car dropped a bunch of spots. He did start outside row 2 tonight. He'll finish in 15th place. Jeff Ottinger in the 76 finished right where he started in 16th. Chad McCabe, we just mentioned him with the 82 on the big old run involved in that wreck. He'll finish 3 laps down. Also 3 laps down, Andrew Cawthon in the 10 machine, down 3 spots overall in 18th spot. 19th will be Tony Polk Salatoni in the number 8 car. He'll finish 19th. 20th place, Earl Evans in 13. He started in the top 10, but Earl had a mess of problems, and he also had to start from the pits. Okay, that's what it is right there. His grid number says 9, but he had a start from the pits. It was a penalty from a previous race. So Earl ends up finishing in 20th. 21st will be Russ Endicott. 22nd, Deion Jones in the Ford machine. And that's it, man. That rounds out your field tonight. Thank you all so much for watching.
Man, you are not kidding as we say that. Thank you, each and every single one of you who watch these races. You guys are seriously the reason why we do this, and we look forward to seeing you each race in and out, and we can't wait to see you guys back here for next season. But don't forget, we're also live on other days of the week. We've got Mondays and Tuesdays right now, but coming up towards the end of September and into October, we're going to be live 5 days a week. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you get alerted every single time we do go live, as we got a lot of great racing action left to go here with us, as well as we have to thank some good sponsors over here at the Vigilante Racing League. D&D Race Graphics, that's Mr. Ricky Wittenberg's kind of car painting side thing. Man, he does a great job on those cars. Be sure to go check them out. That's D&D Race Graphics, spelled Grafix. Find him on Facebook and on Trading Paints. He does an absolute fantastic job, so be sure to go support him over there, as well as supporting his real-life business of Keller Williams of Johnson City, Tennessee. If you're looking to buy or sell your house, be sure to get yourself a good quality realtor, whether it's in that Johnson City, Tennessee area or across the country. Give Ricky a call at 423-444-0454, as, man, everything is absolutely nuts. Do not do it alone, and every little bit helps. Even him just, getting a little side money action for giving a recommendation to some people, man, he gets a little extra, and that just goes right back to the league. So go help Ricky Wittenberg out there and get yourself a good quality realtor. And on that note, that concludes this season of Vigilante Racing. We can't wait to see you all back here once again. Got to thank Alan Kewins for stepping in for the second week in a row. Alan, I know these races have been absolutely fun to watch, and we'll have to keep your number on speed dial there, because I know Turner's going to love to keep on going dove hunting and whatnot. But man, we appreciate you coming on board here with us to celebrate the end of a season here tonight. And on that note, I'm Alan Brown for Alan Kewins and Alan English. This is an all Alan broadcast, and we're signing off.
We gone, Allens.
See ya.